This is Parashat Korach. Torah talks about unbelievable incident in Torah that we cannot imagine something like that could happen in Kahal Israel. But Chachamim tell us that Korach went against Moshe Rabbeinu, went against Aharon, and finally went against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now it's very interesting that if there is a disease, we have to ask the surgeon to diagnose what the problem is. A lot of times, when we diagnose externally, we come with some type of result. But the surgeon that goes inside internally, examines and finds out what the root of the problem is, comes out with a much different diagnosis. Now, Chazal tell us what was wrong with Korach. Why did Korach get involved in such a terrible argument with Moshe Rabbeinu? Why? What happened? Chazal tell us that it was nitkano, jealousy. It was jealous. And Mishneh Shlomo Melech says, Rekeb hatzamot kina. Shlomo Melech says, kina, jealousy, rotten the bones, rottens the bones. Atzamot. In other words, just like etzem is very strong, and once the etzem, the bone, decays, that's a destruction. We cannot substitute the bone. Kina does the same thing in a person. Rekeb atzamot kina. Kina destroys a person. Now the question is, all of us, we have jealousy. All of us, person cannot say that, I got rid of it, I don't have it. Oh, Chachamim tell us, till the last minute of one's life, there is Yetzer Hara. There are midot in a person that provokes him to do wrong thing. Person cannot say that I'm free of charge. Person has to work on it constantly. And the person came to a rabbi. He said, Rabbi, what could I go wrong? What could I do last second of my life that you are saying there's Yetzer Hara, even last second of life? In other words, it says that he told him that last minute of your life you want to say Shema. You know, jealousy comes and it says, you are jealous to one of your friends that when he died, he screamed and he said Shema. Now you are jealous of him and you have to scream and say Shema last minute of your life. You want to do the same thing that your friend did. And the jealousy provokes him in the last minute. He wants to practice his jealousy. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. What do you want? Last minute, you die. Who cares? No. It's a method. It's a method. Even last minute of one's life, person has jealousy. There is a story of two sisters that they were hating each other and they were very jealous of each other. One of them was very sick, about to die, and she called the other sister and told her, come in. Last minute of my life, I want to see you. Now the other sister thought that, last minute of her life, what does she want? She wants peace, harmony. And she goes to her. She is on deathbed, and you can't believe how this sister relate to other one on his deathbed. When she comes, she said, come close. She's feeling that you come close because he wants to kiss her. She wants to kiss her. But once she goes, she beat her. All of the jealousy, all of the hatred, all of the things, last minute of life came out. It's unbelievable. The mitot, ra'ot, stays with the person till last minute of his or her life. Therefore, we have to look for remedies. What's the remedy of jealousy? We know one of the 10 commandments, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Lo tachmod, don't be jealous. Don't be jealous of the house of your friend, wife of your friend, the cattle of your friend, the property, the wealth of your friend. Now, Ibn Ezra, one of the philosophers of Torah, came along and asks a very famous question. He says, how could Torah tell us, don't be jealous? I understand when Torah tells me, don't be mechalel Shabbat, don't eat pig, don't wear shatnez, don't say Lashon Hara. They are acts. I could put together my acts and not to do it. I don't do this. I conduct myself. I control myself. But how could Torah tell a person, don't be jealous? Jealousy is not something that is an act, it's emotions. Once you see something, you promote your promotions. The motions comes up without you being involved in it. It comes up by itself. How could you control that? How could you do that? Ibn Ezra asked such a beautiful question, and now listen to his answer. He says an unbelievable answer. He says, listen, do you know, if you see birds are flying, are you jealous of birds? No. If you see, if a man from a village comes and sees the daughter of the king, such a beautiful daughter, is he jealous of her? Is he jealous of getting married to her? No. Therefore, you see from here that you could control it, you could do it, or don't do it. I never understood this Ibn Ezra. Why? What's Ibn Ezra talking about? Of course, you're not jealous of birds because you're not a bird. You're not jealous of a daughter of a king because you're not a king. Therefore, what Ibn Ezra is talking about, that I'm jealous to my colleague, those that are very close to me, those that, you know, they bought something, I was about to buy it, he bought it. Or I was about to marry this girl, he married the girl. That's the jealousy. Jealousy is not by daughter of a king. The jealousy is not by the wing of the bird, because it's very far from me. I don't even imagine that. Always bothered me till I realized the answer is in this week Parashat, the way that Moshe Rabbeinu said, what's the remedy to jealousy? Therefore, Vaydaber el Korach ve'el kol adato lemor, Vayishma Moshe vayipol al panav. First Moshe heard vayipol al panav, he davened to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Vaydaber el Korach ve'el kol adato lemor, he tells them, what's the first word that Moshe Rabbeinu is addressing jealousy? What's the first word that he says? Boker ve'yodat Hashem elo. Boker, morning. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu would know. Now the Midrash says, why did Moshe Rabbeinu say Boker? What does Moshe Rabbeinu want from Boker? What is Mode Boker? Midrasho, Rashi brings, Boker, Amar Lahe Moshe. Moshe told them, that's the remedy of jealousy. That's the way to deal with jealousy. Gevulot chala HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'olamo. You know, this world has borders. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a frame for this world. Yecholim atem lahapoch boker le'erev. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made boker morning, made night. Could you change morning to night, night to morning? Ken tuchlu lebatel etzu. If you could change that, you could change this. Shlemar vayi erev vayi boker vayavdel. Hashem says, Hashem made night and boker vayavdel, and separated between them. Kach vayavdel aharon lahakdisho. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu made night and day, and he separated between night and day. Vayavdel aharon lahakdisho. He separated Aharon to become Kohen Gadol. If you could change that, you could change this. Now, what does Moshe Rabbeinu exactly mean? What's the point that Moshe Rabbeinu is making? It's unbelievable yesod in life. Moshe Rabbeinu is saying like this. Moshe Rabbeinu saying, Korach, what are you asking? What are you doing? In other words, what you are asking to become in the place of Aharon, you are jealous of Aharon, you should know what you are asking for, what you are demanding. Do you know Boker? Vahi Erev, Vahi Boker. Go to Parashat Bereshit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created every day. Was night, was morning, Hashem created. Was night, was morning, Hashem created. And Hashem gave positions to things in Parashat Bereshit. And He gave Boker is border and night is border. And whatever that Hashem created in my separation, we cannot change. You understand? We cannot change. Therefore, what you are demanding, what you are asking, you are going against the creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just like by creation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you cannot change day and night. Hashem decided in Sheshet Bereshit what should be the outcome of the world. What should it be? He decided that Aharon should be Kohen Gadol. He is a Kohen Gadol. anything that anybody has on this earth, Hashem decided. Hashem gave a wing to a bird, and Hashem didn't give wing to people. That's very simple and plain to understand. If he owns this house, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made him to own this house. The Gemara says that person before that he was born, Hashem decides that this bayit Floni lefloni, bat Floni lefloni, sade Floni lefloni. House, that house of Floni before his birth, 40 days before his birth. And that daughter to this, and that side, that field. There are three major things by a person. Housing, where does he live? Sade, his job, and his wife. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides. All of these decisions Hashem made in Yisrael Bereshit. Now, if somebody feels that his friend bought the house, and he bought the house, if it's matter of random, do you know, if I was a little bit smarter, I could have gotten that house. If I worked a little bit harder, I could have got married to that girl. If a person has such a mentality, he's creating his own grave. Because he feels everything he could have accomplished, everything he could have gotten, and he lost it, and the other person got it. But Moshe Rabbeinu says, Korach, that's not the case. Boker, Hashem decides. It's a decision of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just like you cannot change day and night, that's a decision of Hashem. Just like you see a bird has a wing, and that's a decision of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that the bird should have wing, and you cannot get it. Therefore, all depends on our mind. All depends how to our mentality. If you feel it's accessible, if you feel that really belongs to you, somebody else took it away, that's jealousy. That's provoking jealousy in a full term and full power. The person has to understand that the world is not a jungle. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides for each person what to have. It's the will of Hashem. When you think about being jealous about your friend, you have to think that what am I asking really? I'm asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why did you give wing to the bird? You should have given it to me. That's exactly, there's no difference. That's Pshat in Ibn Ezra. Ibn Ezra is pointing out such a beautiful philosophy in Torah, understanding of the Hashgach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You're not asking that house. You're not jealous of that house. You are going against the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That is the will of Hashem. Hashem wants it like that. And if a person's mentality is like that, it's like the daughter of the king. Because who made the jealousy? Yourself. Because you thought it's accessible, it's available, it's yours. And by mistake, it's a plain mistake that you got it. No, that's the way that you relate to it. If person feels like that, he's digging his own grave. Person has to understand the world is not a jungle. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in charge. He decides for what to give to whom, and Hashem decides. That's a decision of Hashem. And the person should feel, he's happy. Now I just finished up with this story from Orchot Tzadikim. Now maybe it's a famous story, everybody knows, but it's unbelievable to bring out the point that I'm talking about. Once there is a king, and king said that he's going to give prizes to people, to everybody. And he saw Mr. Jealousy and Mr. Taiba. Mr. Jealousy, Mr. Kina, and Mr. Taiba. Taiba desire lost. I told them that, today is your day. I gave you the greatest prize in the world. But there's only one condition. The condition is that whoever asks first, I give it to him whatever that he asks, and I give double to the other person. Therefore, he told them, good, it's a good deal, let's go ahead and ask. Mr. Jealousy thought about this, said, what? I should talk first. Then Mr. Taiba is going to have boys. Double on me, I can't ask. Mr. Taiba said, what? I should talk first. Then Mr. Jealousy is going to have double of me. Nobody talked. Not him, not him. The king was there, happy. King is trying to fulfill the desire of these two people. And he's waiting and waiting. Finally, king got very angry and told them, say something. Again, Jealousy said, I should say first. No. Taiba said, king says, you don't have a limit. You could ask whatever that you want. What's bothering you? Ask. Again, Nobody wanted to say anything. And finally, king turned to jealousy, and Mr. Jealousy, and told him that you should talk first. And Mr. Jealousy got turned red, and he didn't know what to say. What? He's going to have double on me. Finally, he comes and he says that I want the king to poke one of my eyes. To poke one of my eyes, in order that jealousy should be poked too. This story sounds funny. We laugh at this story. But really, it's a story of our life. There are moments that we could have the best moments in life. We could enjoy. We could be happy. Here, the king didn't put any limit. If he would have put any limit, then we would understand it. There is no limit. There is no limit. Then what's bothering you? There are moments, golden moments. A person could be happy with his wife, with his children, with the blessing of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But there is an enemy within. He doesn't let. He doesn't let. He gets a person. He gets on the nerve of a person and turns over the golden time to tragedy. Mamash. You see, you look, you open your eyes. You see the semachot turns to such a terrible, such sad story. Why? Because of the mitot raot. Person has a golden time. Oh, you laugh at this story, but this story is the story of our life. And that's the way Moshe Rabbeinu is saying boker. The word of the boker is the remedy for jealousy. You want to work on jealousy, that's the way. To understand, this is the hashgach of Hashem. It's the emunah and faith to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Once you have faith to Hashem and emunah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that is the greatest remedy. That's the greatest understanding. And that's the enemy without rekev atzamot kina. The jealousy decays the bones of a person, destroys the skeleton of a person. Bones are the skeleton. Bones are something that keeps a person. And jealousy is such a strong power that decays the bones, destroys the bones. We have to work on it and get it out. Hashem build up simcha sosun.